Que tiemble el Estado, los cielos, las calles, que tiemblen los jueces y los judiciales. Hoy a las mujeres nos quitan la calma, nos sembraron miedo, nos crecieron alas. A cada minuto de cada semana roban amigas, nos matan hermanas, destrozan sus cuerpos, nos desaparecen. No olvides su nombre, por favor, señor presidente. Por todas las compas marchando en Reforma, por todas las morras peleando en Sonora, por las comandantes luchando por Chiapas, por todas las madres buscando en Tijuana. Cantemos sin miedo, pidamos justicia, gritamos por cada desaparecida, que retumbe fuerte, nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Yo todo lo incendio, yo todo lo rompo, si un día algún fulano te apaga los ojos, ya nada me calla, ya nada me sobra, si tocan a una, respondemos todas. Soy Claudia, soy Esther y soy Teresa. Soy Ingrid, soy Fabiola y soy Vanessa. Soy la niña que subiste por la fuerza. Soy la madre que hoy llora por su muerta. Y soy esa que te hará pagar la cuenta. Por todas las compas marchando en Reforma, por todas las morras peleando en Sonora, por las comandantes luchando por Chiapas, por todas las madres buscando en Tijuana. Cantemos sin miedo, pidamos justicia, gritemos por cada desaparecida, que retumbe fuerte, que nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Y retiemble en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del amor. Y retiemble en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del amor.
Buenos días y una muy cálida bienvenida a nuestra comunidad unitaria universalista de San Miguel de Allende. Thank you for joining us in this occasion. Gracias por acompañarnos en este día. In the spirit of inclusivity and acceptance, we welcome everyone, wherever you are, regardless of background or belief, whichever your race, and whoever you love, to join us in this exploration. Here, you are encouraged to bring your whole self as we embrace the diversity of experiences that shape our individual perspectives. Together, we weave a tapestry of love, acceptance, and growth. En el espíritu de inclusión y aceptación, les damos la bienvenida a todos, donde quiera que estén, sin importar su origen o creencia, cualquiera que sea su raza y a quien amen, a unirse a nosotros en esta exploración. Aquí se les anima a ser su ser completo, mientras abrazamos la diversidad de experiencias que dan forma a nuestras perspectivas individuales. Juntos tejemos una tela de amor, aceptación y crecimiento. Soy Paola Turandot, una orgullosa miembro de esta comunidad y su líder de servicio el día de hoy. Gracias por elegir ser parte de esta reunión significativa. Antes de adentrarnos en nuestro servicio, nos gustaría dar la bienvenida a nuestros visitantes y tenemos algunos anuncios. I am Paola Turandot, a proud member of our fellowship and your service leader with Carla for today. Thank you for choosing to be part of this meaningful gathering. Before we move into our service time, we would like to welcome our visitors, and we have a couple of announcements. The Endowment Committee wants you to know about the upcoming event on March 18, when you can learn about the goals of our UUF Fellowship Endowment Committee. Please stop by their information table today during a coffee hour, which you can find over there, and next Sunday as well to learn more. After the service, those on Zoom are invited to stay connected and visit with others in the main room for discussion. Those who are here with us in the aldea can join us for coffee and cookies. Después del servicio, aquellos que están en Zoom están invitados a quedarse para una plática e invitamos a aquellos que están con nosotros en la aldea a que se nos unan por café y galletas. So, if we have any visitors here today, would you please stand so that we can see who you are or personally greet you? Si tenemos visitantes, pueden ponerse en pie para saludarlos. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Also, if we have any visitors on Zoom, please type in your name and where you are in the chat box so others can greet you later. Y si tenemos visitantes en Zoom, por favor no duden en escribir su nombre y de dónde son en el chat para que los demás puedan darles la bienvenida. Don't forget to check our website, uufsma.org, to see previous services and information on events, and also how to become a member. No olviden visitar nuestro sitio web, uufsma.org, para ver servicios anteriores e información sobre eventos y cómo convertirse en miembro de nuestra congregación. And now, as we begin our service with gratitude and reverence, we are happy to invite our young explorers to participate in lighting our chalice.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Please join. We're going to right now, we're here, the children obviously, or mostly they're adolescents today, not children, so I don't want to offend them. We're going to light our chalice. Please join me as I lead you and the students in the Spanish words, which I will do them up here with the gestures, and the English translation will appear on the screen. So, iluminamos este cáliz para celebrar el unitario universalismo. Este es el lugar de la mente abierta. Este es el lugar de las manos que ayudan. Este es el lugar del corazón amoroso. Juntos nos cuidamos unos a otros, cuidamos la tierra y trabajamos por la amistad y la paz en nuestro mundo. Now, Sebastian is going, yes, you can go ahead and light that, Sebastian, thank you. Sometimes but we also have another little lantern candle that we light every day, or every Sunday when the kids are here, and you can light that now. Thank you. So today, today in the classroom, we're also going to be talking about International Women's Day and women's rights. And especially we're going to have a focus on Olympia Brown, who was the first female Universalist minister ordained in the United States. So we're excited about that. So please remain seated as we sing hymn 413, first in Spanish, then in English, as the students walk back to the class. Thank you.
Today, we gather to honor the strength, courage, and resilience of women. Those who raised their voices when silence was expected. Those who marched when fear tried to stop them. And those who continue to demand justice in a world still learning how to listen. We gather with gratitude for the rights we hold today, knowing they were not freely given, but bravely claimed. As our youth lit both our chalices and theirs, symbols of our Unitarian Universalist faith, we remember that the flame of justice is carried from generation to generation. May these lights remind us that hope, it's not passive. Hope is something we create together through courage, compassion, and action. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and remain standing afterwards for a covenant. Words will appear on the screen.
We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are the dreamers of new visions. We are the dreamers of new visions, and we are dreaming, dreaming for our lives. We are the dreamers of new visions, and we are dreaming, dreaming for our lives. We are the ones who care for children. We are the ones who care for children, and we are caring, caring for their lives. We are the ones who care for children, and we are caring, caring for their lives. We are gentle, angry women. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry women, and we are
Please rise and body or spirit for a covenant. Words will appear on the screen.
We respect the interdependent web of life and work for a just and peaceful world. We encourage the search for truth and meaning, strive for compassion in our relationships, and seek values that will benefit our lives and the lives of others. This is our covenant.
Respetamos todos los estilos de vida dentro de su red interdependiente y trabajamos por un mundo justo y pacífico. Alentamos la búsqueda de la verdad y la comprensión total. Nos esforzamos por mantener compasión en nuestras relaciones y buscamos valores que beneficien nuestras vidas y las vidas de los demás. Este es nuestro convenio.
Qué largas son mis trenzas, me han acompañado desde que nací. Qué largas son mis trenzas, mami me ha peinado como la peinaba su mamá. Y aunque se ven lindas, pesan tanto, tanto. Y llegó el momento de soltar. Debo cortarme las trenzas porque al final el pelo crece y debo romper la cadena que nadie más se la merece. Y estamos listas para soltar mis nuevas trenzas más fuertes serán. Cortarme las trenzas porque al final el pelo crece y debo romper la cadena que nadie más se la merece. Y mi mamita sonreirá, sus nuevas trenzas eternas serán, eternas serán. Por generaciones siguiendo las reglas para ser perfectas, pero no necesitamos nada más, nada más. Viviendo en las sombras para estar seguras y cuántos secretos no quisieron ser contados por el miedo al que dirán. Rompiendo el círculo por las que ya no están y por las que vendrán. Debo cortarme las trenzas porque al final el pelo crece y debo romper la cadena que nadie más se la merece. Y estamos listas para soltar mis nuevas trenzas más fuertes serán. Debo cortarme las trenzas porque al final
Hola, Adelita. Hoy es un día más recordándote. Mamita linda, no sabes cuánta falta me haces. Pero me acuerdo de ti y estoy segura que es tu luz la que hace que cada día pueda salir de mis peores momentos. Te amamos hasta el infinito.
Eterna será.
We enter in a very special time in our service. A time when members and friends share with our community the significant joys, sorrows, and concerns that they're experiencing. If you like to share a joy or concern next time, there are joys and concerns cards available in the welcome table, and you can write one and then leave the card with the greeters, and they make sure the service leader receives it. You also can email to Reverend Tom before the next weekend. And for today, if you're in Zoom, you can enter your joy or concern in the chat, and Diego will let us know if something it's in our joys and concerns.
Thank you, Carla, and it's such a joy for all of us to see this wonderful, strong group of women presenting this service today. So could we light a candle for all of you? And now I've got just two very, very special and important ones, and then Carla will share with you the rest. And they both involve women in our congregation. We have one that's a joy, a sorrow, and a concern. Most of you know Margot Johnson, a past president and everything. Margot broke her other foot this past week, just about a half an hour before her going away party, which she did not get to attend. Instead, she went to the hospital, and it was a serious break. So we're all sad that she's moving back to Texas. We're all concerned of her health, and particularly her women's group, Mis Mujeres, is really. Mis Hermanas, I'm sorry. I should have written it down. Thank you, Ellie. Mis Hermanas will really, really miss her, but we will all miss her. But I got an email from her sometime after midnight this morning saying they're coming to pick me up for a SkyMed flight at 4 o'clock this morning. So I suspect she's in the air or has landed already in Texas, where her daughter will be meeting her there. So please send her your best thoughts, wishes by email. And the really joy is, this is somewhat fictitious title, but she's accepted the position as the president of the UUFSMA Texas diaspora. So, and she will be with us on Sundays and other matters and participating via Zoom. So with us just in a different way. So for Margot. And now you need to put that down and come over with me. We have some really wonderful news. We've kind of been keeping this process a little quiet because we wanted to get everything through, but I want you to know that Carla Espinoza, who's beside me here, has just been accepted at Meadville Lombard Unitarian Universalist Seminary to become a Unitarian Universalist minister. She is going to make a wonderful one, and you'll be hearing more about this and seeing more about it in the future. And now, almost Reverend, you can continue with the joys and concerns, okay?
Okay. Surprise, everybody. Yeah, I know. This service certainly is making us cry several days preparing, and yeah. Well, now in this moment of joys and concerns, I want to share with you that yesterday the board members got a beautiful board leadership, the first retreat yesterday. And thank you. Marilu wants to thank everybody for your support, the happiness that you brought, and all the ideas that were shared in that space. We have more joys. This is from Lauren Osornio. Her granddaughter was born, yes, in March. Great-granddaughter. Oh my God, yeah. Sorry, between the crying and everything, it's hard to read. But yeah, and she's beautiful for sure. And it's amazing, we're happy. And happy 80th birthday to Dave McDougall. That was yesterday. So we're here, happy birthday. I hope you're having a blast. Hi, Dave. And one of these thank yous, it's for Drew Massicott. They bring somebody, because we don't have name, to San Miguel and today to the UU service. And it's a joy. Thank you for the people in the fellowship inviting the people around yourself to this love space. We have a concern for all the issues that are happening, the news, the global situations, and we're going to abord more deep when we talk about the peace candle. Also, we have a joy from George Aronson, who had hoped to share this last Sunday, but he wants to express his joy at being one of the several dozen performers in the world premiere of Malcolm Halliday's brilliant musical setting of the life of the famous Canadian painter Emily Carr. George noted also that the combination of multiple, unrelated, and totally unexpected challenges were handled with grace and aplomb by Malcolm. He concludes with his notes, "It might be tempting to cancel the performance, but the show did go on to a large and enthusiastic audience." Other joy that we have today is from Anne Geyer, saying that thank you for Ellie Goodwin's generosity in purchasing the UUA course Coming of Age handbook for congregations for our Young Explorers program. This handbook will enable us to use important UU course and to our adolescent students, our teenagers. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you so much. We have more joys and concerns on the chat box. And Sandra Ellis wants to share a concern from her stepson, who is a quadriplegic and is struggling with significant pain after recent surgery. Our thoughts going with you. And we want the joy for International Women's Day and concerns for all the family. And we have the joy from Sandra Ellis too. A joy from her daughter, who was being recognized for International Women's Day for her inspiring work as a professor on environmental sustainability. Congratulations for her. And to finish this day that has been full with joys and also some concerns, we light our red, white, and green candle for people of Mexico who express our gratitude for being here, for the Mexicans to sharing and being able to be in this beautiful community with you, and the richness of the culture. This candle is not just for the Mexicans and the welcoming in Mexico, it's also for all the Mexicans that are in process of migration, where the human race hasn't been respected, when all the necessity to thrive in other spaces that might not be safe for them. And also for the Mexicans that were here, we need a space, a safe space for ourselves. We light our blue peace candle as an expression of our fervent desire for peace. Peace is not just the absence of violence and wars, it's also the possibility to thrive without concerns in an environment that allows us to be happy and share this with others. Our final candle is for all those joys, sorrows, and concerns that haven't been shared outspoken, but they're in our hearts, in our minds too. So now I invite you during this musical meditation to come forward in silence to light a candle of joy or concern for yourselves.
Has tried us, hope inside.
Please rise in body or spirit, and we will recite together in unison. You have the words in your insert. For a woman, we honor the strength of women, those who came before us, those who walk beside us, those who to come. We honor the voices once silenced, now rising in courage and truth. May we be people who listen deeply, who protect fiercely, and who love boldly. May justice flow through us like a river that cannot be stopped. And may every woman know she is sacred, she is worthy, she belongs. Now welcome Carla for her reflection.
If you were wondering what the song is saying, you can read it on your order of service. Comes the lyrics in English because it's a very interesting song for us. Often, I reiterate the sharing makes us vulnerable in many ways. Personally, I spent 17 years attending feminist marches, collective spaces and conversation, and any space that allows us to build understanding on women's rights. I had mentors like Nuria Robelo who allow us to build understanding of women's rights. And she documented in Mexico, women receive harsher sentences for the same crimes compared to men, usually 30% harsher. Not all the states have a women's prison system which create and forces women to go to other cities or states, isolating them not only from society, but also from their families and any support network they might have to be part of their reintegration process. There are many situations in the country that are wrong, unjust, and incorrect, especially for women. However, in these 17 years of activism, we have also been able to sow, cultivate, and enjoy spaces that didn't exist before. And these spaces aren't just for the women's community. However, there's still much work to be done for everyone. Today, I would love to share a couple of laws that have been created in Mexico that exist and protect, though there are some times who know. And one of those is the Ingrid law, which sanctions public servants who leak videos or sensitive information of victims of crimes. It was enacted after the feminicide of Ingrid Camilla. There is a documentary on Netflix if you wonder what we're talking about. The second is the Olympia law, which reformed the penal code and the general law on access to public information to recognize digital violence as a crime. Today, it punishes sharing intimate images without authorization, even they were obtained with consent. This law, promoted by Olympia Coral Melo, the Valeria law, that considers it a crime when someone, without the consent of another person, repeatedly watches, follows, contacts, or attempts to communicate with them by any means. These tags or observe them, causing fear, anxiety, or disrupting the victim's daily life. All of this can generate fear, insecurity for the person being harassed, and the law that's promoted by Valeria Macias. The Savina Law, promoted by mothers who fought against impunity of child support debtors, creates the National Registry of Child Support Debtors and establishes restrictions, making happen, that they cannot be obtained passport, marry, or be candidates for a public office in the country, and they must be provide a pension, strains the right of children and adolescents to receive food. And finally, the Malena Law, which classifies acid attacks as attempt of feminicide or aggravated assault, increasing penalties, and this was promoted by the case of Maria Elena Rios, saxophonist attack with acid in the state of Oaxaca. These laws are incredibly recent. However, they have all arisen from the needs and experiences where activists have to navigate the new procedures of addressing these situations. While many things are happening in the world right now that make it difficult to have faith and difficult to believe that everything will get better, there is small, consistent change. There are spaces of struggle, and that require our time, our effort, and our empathy to continue striving. At this moment, both our faith and collective change and positioning before the world require discipline and political stance in which we don't lose sight of being kind and positive. Not the kind of positivism that denies existence of what we're talking about, but the one that works and allows to build community. This community building allows to continue working for all the other women who are suffering from oppression and human rights violations right now. At the same time, without forgetting that we can achieve results and that we can bring and talk about changes, that we can create a safe space for future generations. Perhaps we won't enjoy the fruits of our labor or our struggle, but the seeds remain, the sprouts remain. And some trees are already beginning to bear the fruit that this generation will be able to enjoy. If you can today, despite the sadness that came with talking about mothers being murdered, searching for their children, women who have to process their grief in private, and all those who choose to not be mothers, but they didn't have choice. Women who are not considered women, and women who, despite being considered women, are not too feminine enough, or they're too feminine. Despite all this, I want to reiterate, today is a day, not to say Happy Women's Day, but to unite respectfully in the spaces that we're allowed, without stealing the spaces of struggle, without stealing each other's niches and individual identities, but do it with rebellious joy.
I will cry too, so just so you know. When people ask why women march, the answer is very simple. Because every right we have today exists because a woman before us refused to stay silent. Let that sink in. I am able to stand in front of you today because a woman rose before me. They paved the way so that I could have freedom of speech. The only way I can think of thanking my sisters, all those women that rose before me, is to rise among them and to keep paving the way for younger generations. I didn't know what to expect from my first march. I was honestly a little afraid and excited at the same time. I was afraid and I was concerned for my safety and the safety of other women. I had heard so many stories of how marches can get violent towards women. But my first march was here in San Miguel, and the marches here are very, very calm. I remember I made a sign, and I remember holding onto that sign very, very tight. I walked to the park kiosk, and I started seeing many women congregate, and I got chills. The organizers spoke, they instructed how we should line up, and once we were ready, we started walking. And just like right now, I remember tears wanting to come down my eyes. I grew up here in San Miguel. I know the streets like the back of my hand, but somehow they looked so different that day. The air was filled with hope and anger. It was a feeling that you can only experience, and it is very hard to explain. I am proud to be a woman, and I am proud to be able to rise and speak for myself and for the woman who can't. I have gotten hate comments in person and in social media. I've dealt with friends being aggressive about the movement, and I've had to cut people off my life, and that might seem extreme, but I will not tolerate the lack of understanding, because if you don't understand the movement, you might be part of the problem. We are not fighting for more rights. That is not the point. We are fighting for equality. That's all. We want to be able to live in peace, and for that, we need to create awareness of what is not acceptable. It is not normal for a little girl to be touched. It is not okay to be stared at as a prey. It is not normal to carry the weight of constantly watching our surroundings. It is not okay to go out and be afraid of not coming back home. It is not normal to be harassed in public spaces or anywhere for that matter. It is not okay for others to decide over our own bodies. And it is not normal to live with fear. I wondered, what would happen if you ask a man, what is the worst thing that can happen to him while going out with his friends? So I asked my male friends, and their responses were losing my phone or my wallet, calling an ex-partner, not remembering where I parked, getting robbed, or getting into a fight. I asked my female friends the same question. The responses are honestly not surprising, and yet it pained me to the bone to read the responses. The worst thing that could happen to us is someone spiking our drink, someone harassing us, someone following us back home, someone abusing us, or someone taking our life away. It's shocking, right? That is the reality we live in. And I want to clarify and be very clear that I am not against men in any way. I thankfully have many male friends that have proven to me that they can all be allies. And I know that it is not every man, but unfortunately, it is always a man. However, this is not a war of genders. It is a fight against the patriarchy that continues to rule and dismiss the real problem. The problem being that some people still see women as inferior, as objects. Even within our own Unitarian history, women have been part of the struggle. Women like Susan B. Anthony, a Unitarian who spent decades fighting for women's rights to vote. She was even arrested for trying to vote in 1872. At the time, many people also said her activism was pointless, and yet, decades later, women gained the right to vote. Olympia Brown, one of the first women ordained as a minister, dedicated her life to the fight for women's rights and suffrage. She spent decades advocating for equality, and at the age of 85, she was finally able to cast her first vote. Why do we march? There have been so many people coming at me and saying that it is useless, that what we do is pointless. Pointless, I ask. History proves us otherwise. Thanks to marches, I can vote today. Thanks to marches, women have the right to work without their husband's permissions, and we have the right to get divorced. We can have higher education. We can use contraceptives. We have the right to equal pay. We can be elected, and we can even wear pants, which was, this was not a law, but it was harshly seen. Women before us carried the torch. Today, we carry it forward. And tomorrow, another generation will carry it even further. So, in that first march, when we reached the parroquia, all my feelings started to explode. I felt safe and angry and thankful. I felt safe, surrounded by all my sisters. While we marched and chanted hymns of protest, we were all one. Nothing else mattered in that moment but screaming and crying and marching together. It was as if we were just one force against all the pain and the anger. And I was really angry too. Why? Why should we have to do this? Why do we need to protest to be heard? Why? But I felt thankful to have grown up in a house where my mom was a strong figure, where I was always safe, proud to know that my grandma had participated in marches before me, and filled with love because my best friends came with me that day. There is hope. The movement has existed for decades. This is nothing new, and there has been progress. Don't be misled by that, because there has been progress. And I believe there is more to come, because we are not asking for permission to exist. We're claiming the dignity that has always been ours. Many women and little girls had the courage to stand that day before us and share their stories. Those women should have never had to suffer the horrible things they shared. It is a wake-up call to humanity. We are all in this world together. In my head, it is hard to comprehend how much pain we can inflict to one another, and how some people care so little about human rights. I am positive about change, though. Some days are really hard. Some days I lose faith and strength. But then I remembered that little 12-year-old that had the courage to speak up. I remember my sisters, my mom, and my grandma. I am doing this for them, for the woman to come, and for myself. Because every right women have today exists because another woman protested. So today, we raise our voices. Today we honor them, and the only way that we can, by refusing to stay silent ourselves. Today we stand and we march with fire in our veins and the knowledge that we are doing something greater than what we can imagine. Thank you. Thank you. If you're standing, remain standing. Thank you. I invite you all to stand for hymn 123. Lyrics will appear on the screen. Spirit of Life. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, giving is an act of love and commitment to the world that we want to build. Today, as we reflect on the struggles and voices and the victories of women throughout history, we are reminded that change is always collective. Progress happens when communities support one another, when voices join together, and when we invest in justice. Your offering today helps sustain this community, a place where dignity, equality, and compassion are nurtured. We give not out of obligation, but out of gratitude and hope for the future we are creating together. Today, we will enjoy a very, very special musical offering as the San Miguel Community Handbell Choir will play What Wondrous Love Is This as we pass the offering baskets. Thank you.
As we extinguish this flame, we remember that the light does not disappear. It lives within each of us. Might we leave this place carrying the courage of the woman who came before us, the strength of those who stand beside us, and the responsibility to create a more just world for those who will come after. Let us go forward with open hearts, brave voices, and the enduring belief that change is possible. The challenge is extinguished, but the lights remain in us. Now please enjoy Derecho de Nacimiento by Jerem Jacobi.
Voy a crear un canto para poder existir, para mover la tierra a los hombres y sobrevivir, para crear mi corazón y dejarlo destruir, para el espíritu elevar y dejarlo llegar al fin. Yo no nací sin causa, yo no nací sin fe. Mi corazón pega fuerte para gritar a los que no sienten y así perseguir a la felicidad y así perseguir a la felicidad. Voy a crear un canto para el cielo respetar, para mover las raíces de este campo y hacerlo brotar, para mover las aguas y el veneno verde que hay por ahí, para el espíritu elevarlo y dejarlo vivir en paz. Yo no nací sin causa, yo no nací sin fe. Mi corazón pega fuerte para despertar a los que no sienten y así poder seguir a la felicidad. Es un derecho de nacimiento, es el motor de nuestro movimiento, porque reclama libertad de pensamiento. Si no lo pido es porque estoy muriendo. Es un derecho de nacimiento, es el motor de nuestro pensamiento, porque reclama libertad de movimiento. Si no lo pido es porque estoy muriendo. Voy a crear un canto para poder exigir que no le quiten a los pobres lo que tanto le costó construir, para el que el oro robado no aplaste nuestro porvenir, y a los que tienen de sobra no les cueste tanto repartir. Voy a elevar mi canto para hacerlos despertar, a los que van dormidos por la vida sin querer mirar, que el trono lleve sangre, las flores y en el mar sonar, para el espíritu elevar y dejarlo vivir en paz. Yo no nací sin causa, yo no nací sin fe. Mi corazón pega fuerte para decir a los que nos tienten y así perseguir a la felicidad y así perseguir a la felicidad. Yo no nací sin causa, yo no nací sin fe. así perseguidas.